Welcome to Espiritu Coffee Chats, the podcast where we blend wellness, spirituality, and business to help you live with intention and balance.
We're your hosts, Valerie and Arlene, two Latina entrepreneurs here to guide and grow with you.
Welcome back to Espiritu Coffee Chats. Today, we are sitting down with Miss Carina. She is a San Diego-based personal branding photographer and coach who helps entrepreneurs feel confident in front of the camera and show up authentically in their business. Her work isn't just about taking beautiful photos. It's about helping people see themselves clearly, connect with their purpose, and show up with confidence in their story. So welcome. We're super excited to have you.
Thank you so much.
Can you tell us about yourself?
Ooh, about myself.
Yeah, now the camera's on you.
I am a Brazilian that came to San Diego almost 12 years ago. And I used to be a teacher. I was a teacher. I taught English as a second language for 23 years, more or less.
Oh, wow.
And then I transitioned into photography.
Nice. How long have you been here?
Here in San Diego, 12 years.
Oh, wow.
More or
Okay.
less, yes.
All right. You weren't like a COVID transplant.
No, I was not. Well, the same year I thought of quitting the teaching job and starting and doing only photography full time. That's when COVID happened and the school closed.
Oh, okay.
So in a way, it was good that I didn't quit before because then I got unemployment when we could not leave the house.
You got that stipend.
Yes. If it was only my business, it would have been different. But so yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay. So then that kind of propelled you to really focus on your brand.
Yeah, I was planning on doing that anyway, but I was just kind of waiting because it's all about your comfort zone, right? So teaching for over 20 years, I really knew what I was doing. I could plan a lesson with my eyes closed, right? And not having that anymore and just having my own business, obviously it's scary. Like you don't know what's going to happen. And it was one of those like, okay, COVID happened. Woo, off you go.
Right. A new portal opened for you.
Yes.
So how did you even get into photography? Because if you were a teacher for 23 years, what made you be like, okay, I'm going to pick up this camera? And then like, how did you even get to
Are you going to
deciding?
laugh?
Yeah.
You might laugh.
Okay.
Guns N' Roses.
Oh my gosh, of course.
It was because of, live music in general. I love taking photos of live music concerts, and it was me with my little point and shoot.
Oh, so you were that person at the concert.
Oh yeah, but I was like front row, always like rail, no other place.
Yeah.
And I had my point and shoot, and I started taking photos, and I really enjoyed it, and I was like, ooh, maybe that could become something, right? And that's when I got like a secondhand camera, because the point and shoot is quite different. Like it's very limited. It was a good point and shoot, but I shot raw, which means that, so it's a good quality, but I was like, let me learn.
Point and shoot is the cameras that already have the camera attached to it, right?
Those
and you
tiny
can't change
ones.
the lenses.
Yeah, because when you're at a concert, if you're not the official photographer, you cannot bring your whole equipment.
She was like, wait, I'm trying to be the official photographer.
I'm trying. Please hire me. Take me with you on tour. But and then I got a secondhand camera to kind of like, let me see if this becomes something. And then for personal branding, I met another personal branding photographer. At that time, I was taking photos of anything because I really didn't have my niche. Because shooting live music is a lot of fun, but at the same time, it's hard to make a living, right? So I had to find something like a niche or something. And I was really kind of like just doing a little bit of everything. Didn't know. So I met this photographer, Meg Marie, and she...
Shout out to Meg.
Yes! And it was a game changer because she introduced me to personal branding. I didn't know it existed, and she introduced me to personal branding, and then later she became my mentor, and she launched a course that I took, and it changed everything.
That.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just trying to wonder timeline for my selfish reasons, because I met you, I think, in 2021. No, 2020. No, maybe 2021. I think, at FEMX. We're at a networking event. And of course I ran into Miss Carina. That was about 2021. So what, 5 years ago now, almost?
Yeah, I was. Yeah.
So at that time,
I met her in 2018.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So at that time, you were already like, okay, I'm doing branding, and that's exactly okay.
Yes.
Cool.
I was
Okay,
already doing. Yeah, I was already doing personal branding for sure. Yes.
Okay.
Yay.
I love that. So I love how you also like to bring out the different qualities in the woman that you're shooting, like building confidence. So why was that important to you? And how do you go about, okay, when I worked with Carina, I was like, and I'm decently confident, but I can get very camera shy. And so that's usually where my hookup is at. It's like, I don't know why, for whatever reason, the camera's on me. If it's like a fun event, I'm like, hey, but if it's like a branding, I'm like, oh, eyes on me. And I just get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? Because with my shoot, we had fun.
Yes.
And, but for somebody who is just like their first time, and why is that important? And then two, what do you like? How do you add that flavor?
So here's the thing. I don't work with models, right?
Come on, I thought I was a model. I'm just kidding.
Well, like the professional models
yeah.
that their job is to pose. They need to know how to pose and feel comfortable in front of the camera. I don't work with models. So you kind of have to kind of learn how to, one, get this idea out of people's heads that they need to know what they're doing. Because you don't need to know what you're doing. That's why you have a photographer, right? That's my job. And why did I start? What was the first question? I don't remember the first question.
The first question was, so why was it important for you to really like lead with women being confident? Because that's part of being a brand, right?
Yes.
Showing up and being confident. And how is that portraying like the pictures and things like that?
Basically, I could see a lot of women hiding and really downplaying their gifts and talents because they didn't want to get in front of the camera, because it's not only about photos. And that's what I usually like to reinforce, that because it's not just about pretty photos. It's about you really like stepping into your power and like, okay, this is what I do. This is me. And the photos are there to help you connect, feel first that confidence, and then help you connect with your audience that are going to love you or not.
Right.
Which is also fine.
Right.
But they're going to love you. They're going to trust you because you are showing up, right? So I saw a lot of people, a lot of women hiding because like, oh no, I don't want to do this,
Right.
And it's really like giving women their power back. I learned something very interesting on Sunday from one of my clients. It was on her photo shoot day on Sunday. I learned something very interesting because I said it was on the card, the word empower. And she was like, I don't like this word. And I was like, why not? And she was like, I prefer powerful, because to empower someone, it kind of has this feeling that the person doesn't have power. So you are giving them power. And she believes that you have the power. Sometimes you just need a reminder or you need to get it back, but you have the power. So I thought it was very interesting. And I'm like watching myself say that word sometimes instead of using power, like to feel powerful, right? So that's what kind of like got me into really like, and also because that's how I felt.
Right.
Getting in front of the camera is awkward. It's not, if you don't know the photographer, if you're not comfortable, if you don't know what you're doing, it's very vulnerable and you never know what to do with your hands. And it's not easy. So I think because I know how it feels, I want to make sure that when I do a photo shoot with my client, that they know what they're doing, they feel good, they feel they're celebrating, it's a good experience. It's not just about like, getting pretty photos. It's about the experience of that day and what is going to bring you later.
What's the kind of transition from that? I like how you basically bring your teacher element into the branding experience. So it's like, it's not just that day. Like you're like pre-planning. I mean, you gave me so many, like, what do you call them? Like photo maps.
Oh, the photo shoot map.
Yeah, the photo shoot map, which is like very helpful. You gave me a lot of tips to organize all the things, even though I personally brought a lot of extra things.
Yes.
But it's just like all those things that like you wouldn't know to think about, or like how to organize it, or just like you just think like as the person showing up, like, okay, I'm trying to represent my business, but I don't really know what that looks like.
Yeah.
So you sit down, and I remember we talked for like, you know,
even the questionnaire, right?
Yeah, even
like
the questionnaire.
It gives you answer, because when you answer the questions, you kind of realize, oh, I need to know these things for my business. It's not only
Right.
for the photo shoot, but for my business. It's important for me to know. So it brings you more clarity as well when you do the questionnaire and then the planning, and again, this is like experience, right? This is what I do, and from experience, what I feel that people don't know, because
Right.
again, you're not supposed to know all these things, right? So that's what I help women do before we even go and get in front of the camera.
Right. Yeah, because I remember, you know, for clients like me, for example, I mean, even though I did do a photo shoot with you doing when I was in the real estate thing and all that, but it's like sometimes it's as easy as like just holding up a real estate sign and that person,
Yeah,
you know what they
sold.
do, right? But it's like for other people who don't have businesses that are that black and white, like how do you convey that in the picture? So I feel like the roadmap that you give really does help. And, you know, really understanding like, you know, props are just an accessory just as
Yes.
much as your necklaces
And your
then-
energy.
And your energy. I remember I talked to you because a lot of Latinas could probably relate. RBF. You know, if you don't know what RBF is, resting bitch face. I personally, my genetic genes, I guess, have that naturally. So I remember I was like, that is one of the things.
I'm
like,
nodding, but I don't agree. I'm not
I
saying
know,
yes,
I know,
you do.
I know, right? But I know, like, if I look serious, that's just how it could look, especially in a camera. So you definitely, I remember sharing that with you. And so it was just feeling like, okay, I got that out. This is one of my, whether it was an insecurity or whether it was just like one of my obstacles that I personally feel,
Yeah.
you know, has happened in the past. It was like, okay. So I was literally like making Carina like scratch her armpit and like scratch the top of her head at the same time to make me laugh. And like literally like a toddler, so that my smile can get
Yes.
really big, right?
Yes.
So that on
And
camera.
I feel the same. Like I hate photos of myself when I'm serious. I
Yeah.
just don't like
Right.
them. So all my photos, I mean, if you look at my photo, like,
Yeah. I literally learned how to do the fake smile because of you. I was like, so you
can't
did
help
so
myself.
well with like cueing and all that. But I honestly think like your 23 years in teaching has probably brought you to this point because, you know, when you teach too, whether it's teaching online or whether it's you're teaching somebody else, and, you know, you have to break things down so
Yeah.
that they can understand it and they can like process it and all that stuff. So I feel like that structuring that you bring to the table is really helpful, but then it's not so boring. Like I have fun, you know, every time I work with you. And I've worked with Carina, even just bringing in on retreats, on events and things like that. So I've been able to work with you on different types of collaborations and stuff. And you're just always fun. You always bring your positive energy to the table, but also just that very much like, oh, let me also not forget about my job.
Yes.
Like this is like, oh yeah, I gotta remember I gotta do this shot and I gotta do that shot. So you're just like on it. And I think as a entrepreneur, like it's nice for us to take a step back and let somebody else do all that thinking
yeah.
and all that work and stuff. But I think what's different about you versus like me going, let's say with somebody else, is that I really love that you really do bring that power element in women. There's something about you that does have that energy. And so I think you attract people that, not to say that I'm like, you know, natural powerful, but I mean, you do attract like some very strong women that come to you and that are, you know, making it in their industry. And so I don't really feel like you have a hard time getting people out of their shell because these people are naturally like pretty confident.
Yeah,
you know?
and also like all this preparation that we do before, by the time we do the photo shoot, like we're best friends, right? So it's like it feels natural and fun, right? Because of all the work that we do before. It's not like, oh yeah, let's book the shoot next week. Yeah, meet for the first time. No, there's a lot of things that we do before. And about like because I was a teacher, there was a lot of like anticipating what people's problems would be or what the questions will be. And as a teacher, I did that a lot, right? Okay, when I'm planning a lesson, what are the questions that my students are going to ask me, right? And it's kind of the same for the business too. As I'm planning this photo shoot, what are the questions? What are the things that I need to tell them?
Right.
So
yeah, you have like your little lesson plan.
yes.
And then she gives us homework, which I love. Well, before I pass you off to Val, our co-host, I just wanted to ask one more question. So with the current climate going on in our wonderful universe, I love that the other day I saw on Instagram that you kind of did a nice little like, hey, this is me, this is my business, but this is also what I stand for. And again, we don't have to get too heavy into it, but I do love that that statement is also very like loud and also empowering and powerful within itself, because I was like, damn, I need to do that too. And just that alone was actually like, you know what? I actually have not ever done anything like that to share. Like, these are my personal values, my personal mission, and how that does translate into your business and into the clients that you work with. And sometimes certain climates in our world where we kind of are immersed in this, having to make those statements are kind of important, you know. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't, but I think just making sure that you're attracting your own ideal of climate, like this person aligns with you morally, in the sense of the things that you feel at your core, and that it does kind of translate into your business. So I just wanted to say that, because I did love that from you, and I think that I also, people who follow you also see you walk the walk and talk the talk, and it's not like you're just saying it because, you know, oh, you're here to get more clients or whatever. Some people will do that, but you definitely have a passion behind it.
I do. It started mainly this year.
Yeah, because she found out she's an Aries rising. And just to light the fire and lead the way.
Yeah, and I was like, I cannot stay quiet. You know, with all these things happening, I cannot stay quiet. And what I do is personal branding. So we need to get personal.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
So my values and my beliefs, they are part of my brand.
Right.
And if anyone has a problem with that, with what I believe in, it's okay.
Right.
You know, it's okay, because I want to attract those that kind of share the same values, and I have been, and that's what is beautiful about it. Like, every now and then, which is part of my questionnaire as well, you know, what does your brand stand for and against? So I get a lot of clients like that brands stand for things that are similar to what I stand for, and that's beautiful. Like, yes, I want to work with them, right? And I just think it's very important to, you know, make it clear, this is what I believe in. So when you look at my stories and things like that, I'm going to be sharing about...
Right. Or you're not like, oh my God, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And also, like, I'm trying to focus more instead of like just sharing bad news.
Yeah.
Because that's negative, and it was not feeling good. Like, it was not good for my health. So I'm like showing how we can make the difference, right? You know, I don't know. Can you volunteer? Can you do this? You know, and give suggestions,
right?
So people can participate as well.
Yeah.
I thought I needed to make that clear. You know,
right? Yeah. I did a Better Business Bureau shout out to the Impact program here in San Diego. One of the first, it's an acceleration program. It's like 10 weeks. So the first time that we met, they had us get out these cards. I forgot the name of the deck, but they're all like picture cards, and they just have words on them. So we had to pull what are our own personal values. And so we picked 12, I think, and then we had to narrow it down to like 5. So those 5s were like my own personal vision and mission statement for myself. I literally have that on my website. This is my business's overall mission statement, but then this is mine here, like just me as a human being. And then and the pictures on there are ones that you took.
I love it.
So it all ties back to you.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks for letting me chat with you. I'm going to move on over to our co-host, Val. So you hang tight, and all of y'all hang tight.
I'll be here.
Welcome back, you guys. I have a little bit of a lisp because I'm wearing my Invisalign. So please excuse me. My S's might sound a little bit weird.
I love it.
Okay, so I love what you were just talking about with Arlene about like the activism and whatnot, and you have been so vocal about it showing up on social media. And I know a lot of times that can feel kind of like scary for people. So what advice do you have for people, women especially, who are learning to take up space and share those values and speak openly about what they believe in and uplift organizations and other movements that we should support?
I think the answer, it takes a little bit of courage too. Right. I'm not going to lie, because there's always that fear of like, what are people going to think? What are they going to say? What if I don't get clients? What if, I don't know, because of what I said, certain people don't want to work with me anymore. So there's that fear, and I understand that. My decision to be vocal is very personal. Yeah. To the point that I'm like, I'm okay if someone doesn't want to work with me because of that. But I understand how it feels when people are afraid. Right. I get that. And I would say my advice would be to start with something small.
Yes.
Start with something small, and instead of focusing on the negative, focus on like, okay, hey, I'm going to go volunteer at Feeding San Diego. Who wants to come with me? Yeah. For example, right? This is just one little thing. So you're showing your values without necessarily having to like write it down, list it, right? This is what I believe in, like I did with my brand manifesto, I think I did. Yes. I made it very clear. I was like, purpose over profitability, like I made it very clear. But I think you can start with something that you are passionate about, that you believe, and share with your audience, like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Because a lot of the times we don't know how to do certain things, right?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Even something like, I talked to so many people about Feeding San Diego when I had that extra spot that I was trying to fill. Yeah. And people were like, I'm very interested. Like, I've always wanted to do this. I can't this day because it was last minute, but I've always wanted to do that. So I think a lot of the times people just don't know how to go about things, and we kind of always like, it's not that it's difficult to find out, but we kind of leave it, like we have our lives like going on and we kind of just leave it on the side. Yeah. But there's that desire. So if you go and you share with your audience, like, this is what I'm doing, join me, and you're giving them the tools, and then more people that care about the same things or the values will follow you. But I would start with something small, like little shares here and there. We all talk about, and that's what kind of bugged me a lot when I started paying attention to what was happening. It was like a lot of people and a lot of brands talk about, about the impact that they want to, like about impact, about changing the world and things like that. And then when everything started to happen, or to get worse, I guess, because apparently maybe I wasn't paying attention before. Now I am. I don't know. When everything was very clear. Yes. I was like, why are people not talking about it? Right? Why are we not talking about it? Right? So that's when I got very I was like, I need to make sure that people know what I believe. And I'm very vocal. My parents know. My boyfriend knows.
I definitely knows. Oh, yes. We talked about it before.
Family, boyfriend, close friends, they all know I am very vocal. I have opinions, and I'm going to tell you what my opinions are.
Speak it from the mountaintop.
For better or worse, sometimes keep your mouth closed. But it's really hard for me to keep my mouth closed.
For sure. But I think it's important because even bringing it back to personal branding and sharing your story, when you speak about the things that you care about, I think it translates into business, right?
Yes.
So do you feel like showing up in this authentic way has kind of translated into your business growing? Like, have you seen that in any of your clients as well?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I get messages, you know, from people kind of like that. I see that support.
Yeah.
That how happy they are that I'm talking about those things, you know, like, so I can see that. I can feel the difference of like, oh, the people that I'm working with are the people I want to work with, because we're really like trying to make a difference here.
Definitely. Yeah. I think when like seeing you being more vocal about these things that you care about, for me individually makes me be like, okay, I am being called in to do more and to support the movements that I want to support that are going to make the world better for most of us. Hopefully all of us. But man, I don't know. Get your act together. We love you. Come with us. But I think like for me also as a business owner, it kind of is my call to action in a way. Like it's been that signal of like, okay, what can I do with my business? What can I do with my other friends in business so that we as a community can come together and actually make that meaningful impact? Like how you said, without whitewashing it, greenwashing, pinkwashing, whatever, all of the washings. We're trying to get rid of these washings and we want the true color.
Yeah.
So I think like seeing that has just been so inspirational.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it means so much that you guys are saying this.
It's true.
Because you never know, like you put things out there and you never know who you're inspiring.
Yeah.
Because not always do you get like people, oh, this post is inspiring. You don't get that all the time, right? Like, so I'm hearing this for the first time, kind of like so directly, I guess. Yes. I know that I knew that you supported me talking, but like this is the first time that I hear you say that you feel inspired. So like it makes a huge difference because that's what you want to do, right? When you start speaking out and sharing your values and showing that it's okay, it inspires other people to do the same, right? And when we're talking about change the world, I always thought like, oh, change the world. How do you change the world, right? You do a little bit, but you do your community, right? Yeah. You do that little bit that is going to help that little group, right? Yeah, and if everybody's doing their part, that's what changing the world means, right? So thank you.
Yeah. You're literally such an inspiration. I love seeing you come on. I'm like, okay, she's got my fire going.
What is she gonna say now?
I need to do it. Let me get on this. Preach to the choir, please. But I think that like all of this really, when you think about like story and branding, I think all of it comes back to that authenticity part and like that some of those misconceptions, like you said earlier, how like standing up for this might hurt my business, but when we've seen the opposite, it helps grow business.
Oh yeah. And also like when we're talking about misconceptions and what people, the myths of branding, one of them, the one that I see most like that happen a lot is that people think that their brand has to appeal to everyone.
I was just having this conversation with Chris. Tell him.
Oh,
Chris, I hope you're listening.
So tell me about the conversation before.
For us, it's really interesting, I think, because like we are coffee, so technically we could in a way be for everybody, but we're not. Like we are not your run-of-the-mill coffee. Like we are about culture, intention, and community, and that in its little thing is kind of like a sub niche of coffee. Yes. Because while we are welcoming of everyone, we do prioritize the people like us, like you and me, who are often forgotten and underserved. And whether that means in social justice programs or community programs, whatever, even hospitality wise, you talk about how they're treated sometimes, and they're just go on threads on Twitter, whatever, and you'll see so many accounts of people of color having horrible experiences in certain restaurants, wherever they are. And so for us, it's like, how do we pour into the community that is not always poured into?
Yeah.
And so that's why I think we're a sub niche of coffee. But Chris is also like a Capricorn, and he's a boss. He wants to make money. So he's like, we're for everyone. We'll sell to everyone.
But that's the thing, like when you're for everyone, you end up being for no one specific, right? Yeah. And so here's the thing. Any business, do you know how many photographers there are in San Diego?
Yeah.
There are so many. So if I'm going to worry about that, and if I'm going to do the same thing everybody's doing, and if I don't put my values and beliefs and my personality into my brand, like what is the difference, right? Because it's not only about being good. It's not only about, oh, I know how to take photos. Because there are amazing photographers out there that know about the whole like technical stuff that maybe I don't know. They are not maybe necessarily doing well because they don't know how to interact with people. They don't really have a brand. So I think authenticity and all this, it's a way for you to kind of like stand out. And otherwise is that sea of sameness, right? Everything is the same. Like coffee is coffee. Okay, but there are so many different brands of coffee. How do you stand out? You know, so otherwise it's going to be you trying to be the coffee brand, the best in the world. But how do you get to that point without, you know, without being like, okay, this is my brand. This is what I believe. I'm going to do this for my community here. And maybe that's going to grow into different communities. But you have something in mind. It's not like this blind idea of like, I want to be this coffee brand that everybody loves, right? So I do believe that you need to have like your sub niche, right? Like, okay, we're a coffee brand, but we also do this. We care about this, and use coffee, what you do, to do those things, right?
Yeah. I think when we're talking about this stuff, what comes to mind also is like how your personal brand activates in a way your own business. And so like for me, what has been kind of happening over the years, or what we originally started with was like, I was like, okay, I am my own person. The business is its own thing, and we're two completely separate things, and that's that.
It's not what happened.
No, it's not. So, like, I can share more of my story, but I'm curious, like, what is some advice you have for people who are either like starting their own like creator journey to develop their personal brand, or learning about themselves to launch a business? Like, what are some advices that you have for people?
I think what makes a difference is, again, it's personal branding. So it's always going to be personal. And that's what makes a difference. That's what connects people. That's why people are like, oh, I'm going to buy your coffee instead of the other brand because I know what you stand for. I connect with that, right? So I think it's very important that you know, like that you put your personality into your brand, right? So it's not that just, it's very funny how we all, when we start a business, we all think about business strategy. What is the strategy here? You know, but the strategy is also like you as a person and what you believe in. Like, that's what is going to make a difference, because that's how people are going to connect with you. Like, otherwise it's just weird, right? Oh, coffee. Okay, it's good coffee, but where do we get that? Like,
the oomph, the sazon.
To make me go like, no, I want your coffee.
A little spice.
A little spice, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think, and When I see you post some of your pictures also, because you have many clients that you've, even just Arlene, where you've done multiple phases and kind of like new iterations and things. And we get to see that growth of them also through you. Like, what has that experience been like for you and like gifting that to your clients?
It's beautiful. So here's the thing. It's all, so what I try to do with, when I say like bring confidence, you know, and all this, it's all about your self-image, right? Because if you don't see yourself as this person that you want to become, it's going to be really hard for you to pull that off. It's going to be really hard for you to like really become that person. You first need to have that self-image of like, okay, I know who she is.
Yeah.
She looks like this. And I'm not talking about looks, right?
Right.
But it's the idea, the feeling,
Absolutely.
right? So she looks like this, being her feels like this. And that's what I've tried to do with photography is like, it's the person who you are, is the person you're becoming.
Yes.
So you're already that person, but sometimes you need to like, we all have like imposter syndrome and all this. There's so many fears and so many things that come, you know, but when you see yourself as that person, and even like as we're doing the photo shoot and I show the back of my camera and they go like, oh, you're so good. I'm like, that's not me.
Yeah.
Like,
yes.
That is you. This is what you look like right now. I'm looking at this person, right? So I think it's all about finding that person that you're like on the way to becoming, and really having, and that's what the confidence is all about, right? Like, oh, I can see myself as that person, so I'm gonna start acting like that person, right? Instead of like hiding, no, I'm not, you know, like, and I think that's what makes a difference.
Yeah, I think that's a great segue into your Empower Her project. Ooh. So for people who are not familiar, can you share a little bit about what that is?
Yes. So the Empower Her project is a beautiful project that I'm doing with the Confidence Collective, which is, so me as the photographer, Helena as the hair and makeup artist, and Vanessa as the stylist. Yeah. So Helena started with this conversation about it. She started with this idea, and I immediately went to like, oh, like Queer Eye, the show.
Yes. Yes.
I was like,
that's great.
I was like, I love this idea because I love that show. I so cry every single episode because the transformation, like, to know that like you have the power, but sometimes you just need a little push. You just need a little help, right? But the person is there, like the power is there, but you need that push. So like what those 5 guys do and how they transform, if you're not familiar, go watch that show. It's on Netflix. With the transformation, it is just amazing. And it's just beautiful how people go from like having a certain kind of life to like something completely different, and it's still them. They just needed help with a few things, right? It's like, so I love that show, and the Empower Her project is a little bit like a baby.
Yes, no, it's not a baby anything. It's that here in San Diego.
We're not sponsored by Netflix, so it's a little bit more. Yeah, it's a little bit more limited.
We don't have the production, but you do everything else.
Yes, but we do everything else. We do. So the idea is that Vanessa is gonna start working with her on helping her pick the outfits for the photo shoot. Ooh, nice. And also like giving tips on how to look your best. Yes. Right? Vanessa is amazing. I hired her and I did her whole package of like styling, image strategy. Ooh. Yes. She is amazing. Nice. And I really needed that. That help, because I always like every day was like, I don't know what to wear, you know. So it's still a work in progress because obviously I couldn't just buy everything I needed to buy, but
Listen,
slowly
you live in
now
San
I know.
Diego.
Yes, now I know what to buy. So she's gonna start helping with that, and then on the day she's gonna do like it's gonna be a full makeover.
Ooh.
For her hair, yeah, and the
Nice.
makeup. And Vanessa's gonna be there, helping her get ready too. And I'll do the photo shoot at the end. It's gonna, so it's something for her to have, like, and be
Yes.
celebrated and have fun. And we also have some people donate some services.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Wow.
So yes, so we have a coaching call with Laura Marie, and she said, "I'm offering this to meet her where she's at."
Oh, beautiful.
So she's gonna have a coaching call. She also has a bag filled with makeup
Ooh.
that Elizabeth is donating, and also a massage. I know.
Wow.
I
That's a
know.
great combo.
Yeah, and
That's all of
hopefully
it.
like we'll have more donations next time,
Yeah,
right? Because
yeah.
we're just starting. It's the first time that we are offering this. So it's kind of a slow process right now because we're kind of doing things we're kind of learning, right,
Yeah,
how
it's
to
the
go
first
about
time.
it, and
Yeah.
it's the first time. And so her name is Stephanie. She got picked already, selected. Really hard. It's really hard to select. So that's why I got some volunteers to read their stories only, without names, without
brilliant.
any other information, just the story, and just vote for one. And so Stephanie was
Yay.
selected, and we're starting the process.
How exciting. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I can't wait to see that come to
Right?
fruition.
Yeah, we're
'Cause-
gonna have videos too, and
Yay.
make sure
How
that
cool. Yeah. That what a wonderful thing to gift. Like that empower her like that. I'm like thinking about what the transformation will be at the end, and exactly
Exactly.
that. And all
Yeah.
these wonderful services that people donated. That's
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
So, for people who want to have a similar kind of transformation with like their personal branding and getting that out into the world, what can they do to hire you? Where can they find you?
So
Everywhere in San Diego. She does all of the things. She's
I'm all
everywhere.
over. So I think Instagram would be when it comes to social media, Instagram is the place to find me because that's what I use more. I don't have time for anything else.
For sure. And you have a lot of, what do you call them? The client transformations there for people to see too.
Yeah. So I think Instagram would be the place to go. I do have my own website. I am going to mention that I'm offering now this VIP pass, which means that you just sign up. It's like a wait list.
Okay.
Like you sign up. So because I'm working on new offerings.
Nice.
So if you sign up and you're part of this wait list, you're a wait list member.
I love it. Okay. Let's hype it up.
A VIP waitlist member. You learn first about the offerings, and there'll be some perks and bonuses for those people there. So if you're thinking like, oh, I might want to book a photo shoot in 2026.
Yeah.
I suggest being part of that wait list because that's where I'm going to share, like for the first time, the offerings, and there will be some bonuses and perks that are not going to be open to everybody, right? So
Nice.
yeah.
So for the VIP, what was it called? The VIP?
The VIP pass to 2026 brand shoots.
Is that, can we sign up on your website?
So it's a link on my bio.
On your Instagram?
Yeah, on
Okay.
Instagram. So if you there are two links, and the second one says very clearly VIP access. So yeah, it's just name and address and email
Yes.
address.
And your Instagram is Carina Flechner Photography?
Yes, _photography.
Underscore
But
photography.
I'm sure you'll find me if you just write Carina Flechner Photography.
Yeah, she's everywhere, y'all. She's great. She's going to concerts all the time. Like,
I am. Yeah,
how do you
I
have
do.
the energy.
Okay,
You're
so I
it's
do work for
crazy.
Live Nation as well. So that's why I go to that many concerts.
That's amazing.
So remember my passion for concert
Yeah.
photography. I don't do photography for them, which is also exciting because then I get to do something completely different that I don't do in my business, right? So I work with production. So you get to learn, I don't know, it's just different sets of skills and, you know, and you get to see lots of shows.
Oh, cool.
The next one is Bryan Adams, which I'm very excited about. I know it sounds silly.
No, I think it's a good one. I don't
but
think
growing up in Brazil, like, I don't know, like Bryan Adams, you know, so I'm excited that I'll be working his show.
Nice. I mean, that's how you get to experience the full experience of San Diego. And I think you're living it.
Yes.
And you're changing so many people's lives, entrepreneurs, people who are not entrepreneurs, to empower her, getting us activated socially for these causes. So thank you for everything that you do.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. So we'll see you guys on the next one.
Yay.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of Espiritu Coffee Chats.
We hope you enjoyed our conversation and found a little inspiration to take with you.
If you loved what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform.
And stay connected with us on social media for updates, behind-the-scenes content, and more.
Until next time, keep the spirit alive and the coffee brewing. Cheers! Ow, ow, ow.